Look, I'm going to be real with you for a second. Most people who click on videos like this, they're not ready for what I'm about to tell them. They want the magic without doing the work. They want the person without changing themselves. But you're different. You're still here, which means something deeper brought you to this moment. Before we go any further, I need to know something. In the comments below, tell me this. What's the one thing your specific person used to do that made you feel completely alive? Don't overthink it. Just write it down. I'll explain why this matters in a minute. Here's what nobody tells you about manifestation. Everyone's obsessed with getting their person back, but they're missing the biggest secret hiding in plain sight. The fact that you found this video isn't random. It's not luck. It's not the algorithm being nice to you. You found this because you're already in the frequency. You're already vibrating at the level where your specific person exists. The problem? You don't believe it yet. I learned this the hard way. 3 years ago, I was exactly where you are right now, checking their social media, wondering if they think about me, making up stories about why they haven't texted back. Sound familiar? I remember lying in bed at 2 a.m., scrolling through their Instagram stories, analyzing every single detail. Who was in the background? Was that a new person? Why did they post that quote? What did it mean? I was driving myself crazy, and the worst part, I knew I was doing it, but I couldn't stop. I would wake up in the morning, and the first thing I'd do wasn't brush my teeth or drink water. It was check my phone to see if they'd texted me. And when there was nothing, my entire day would be ruined. My mood would crash. My energy would plummet. I'd spend hours crafting the perfect casual text, only to delete it because I was afraid of looking desperate. Does this sound like you? Because if it does, I need you to understand something. You're not broken. You're not pathetic. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just human. And humans, especially when we're attached to someone, we do crazy things. We act from fear instead of love. We chase instead of attract. Then something shifted. I stopped chasing. I stopped hoping. I started expecting. And that's when everything changed. But here's the thing that nobody talks about. That shift didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like I woke up one morning and suddenly had all this confidence and clarity. It was a process. A painful, uncomfortable, beautiful process of remembering who I was before I made another person responsible for my happiness. Listen carefully, because this is where most people mess up. They think manifestation is about wanting something really, really hard. Wrong. It's about expecting it so naturally that you'd be surprised if it didn't happen. Think about breathing. You don't hope your next breath will come. You don't manifest oxygen. You just expect it to be there, and it is. That's the energy your specific person needs to feel from you. When you're desperate, when you're needy, when you're constantly checking their social media, you're literally pushing them away with your energy. You're saying, I need you to complete me. I need you to make me feel whole. I need you to validate my worth. And that energy? It's suffocating. But when you expect love, when you expect good things, when you expect to be chosen and cherished, you become magnetic. You become the person that people want to be around. You become the person that your specific person can't stop thinking about. Right now, you're probably doing one of 3 things that's keeping them away. First, you're checking their social media like it's your job. Every story, every post, every interaction. You know what that energy feels like to them. Desperate, clingy, heavy. Nobody wants to be around heavy energy. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're at a party, and there's this person who keeps staring at you from across the room. They're not talking to anyone else. They're not having fun. They're just watching your every move. How would that make you feel? Uncomfortable, right? That's what constant social media stalking feels like energetically. Your specific person can feel when you're watching them. They can sense when you're obsessing over their every move. And it doesn't make them want you more. It makes them want to create distance. It makes them feel like they can't breathe around you. Second, you're making them responsible for your happiness. You're sitting there thinking, if only they'd text me back, I'd feel better. But here's the truth bomb. Happy people attract people. Miserable people repel them. Think about the people you love spending time with. Are they the ones who are constantly complaining about their lives? The ones who are always waiting for something external to make them feel better? Or are they the ones who radiate joy, who make you feel better just by being around them? Your specific person fell in love with you when you were whole, when you were complete, when you had your own life, your own interests, your own happiness. They didn't fall in love with someone who needed them to survive. They fell in love with someone who wanted them but didn't need them. There's a huge difference between wanting someone and needing them. When you want someone, you're offering them an invitation to join your already amazing life. When you need someone, you're asking them to save you from your misery. Guess which one is more attractive? Third, you're living in the past version of your connection. You're trying to recreate what was instead of allowing what could be. Your specific person isn't coming back to who you were. They're coming to who you're becoming. This is the hardest one for most people to understand. You're so focused on getting back to how things used to be that you're not allowing space for something even better to unfold. You're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, and it's not working. Your specific person doesn't want to go backwards. They want to move forward. They want to grow. They want to evolve. And if you're stuck in the past, if you're trying to recreate old patterns and old dynamics, you're not giving them a reason to choose you again. But here's what happens when you start focusing on who you're becoming instead of who you were. You become interesting again. You become mysterious again. You become someone worth choosing again. So here's what you do instead. Tomorrow morning, before you even check your phone, I want you to feel grateful for something completely unrelated to them. Maybe it's your coffee. Maybe it's your bed. Maybe it's the fact that you have eyes to see this video. This might sound simple, but it's revolutionary. When you start your day with gratitude for what you already have, you're setting the tone for abundance. You're telling the universe, I'm already blessed. I'm already whole. I'm already enough. And from that place of wholeness, from that place of abundance, you become magnetic. You become the person that others want to be around. You become the person that your specific person can't ignore. Then I want you to say this and really mean it. I'm so grateful for the love that's already on its way to me. Not I hope, not I wish, not maybe someday. You're grateful for what's already moving toward you. This is about shifting from hoping to expecting, from wishing to knowing, from maybe to definitely. When you speak from a place of certainty, when you express gratitude for what hasn't happened yet as if it already has, you're aligning yourself with the energy of receiving. Here's what's going to happen next. You're going to feel resistance. Your brain is going to say, this is stupid. They don't care about me. I'm wasting my time. That resistance? That's your old self trying to keep you stuck. Your ego doesn't want you to change. It wants you to stay small, to stay safe, to stay in familiar patterns, even if those patterns are making you miserable. Because familiar misery feels safer than unfamiliar happiness. But you're not that person anymore. You're the person who attracts love effortlessly. You're the person people can't stop thinking about. You're the person who knows their worth without needing anyone else to confirm it. This is about stepping into a new identity. This is about becoming the person who doesn't chase, who doesn't beg, who doesn't need validation from others to know they're worthy of love. This is about becoming the person who loves themselves so deeply that others can't help but love them too. Your specific person is going to start feeling this shift. They won't know why, but they'll start thinking about you differently. The energy will feel lighter, more magnetic, more interesting. Energy is everything. When you change your energy, you change your entire reality. When you stop being desperate and start being magnetic, when you stop being needy and start being whole, when you stop chasing and start attracting, everything changes. Your specific person is going to feel this shift before they even see you. They're going to start thinking about you more. They're going to wonder what you're up to. They're going to feel drawn to reach out. And when they do, you won't be the same person they left. You'll be someone even better. Now look, I could keep going, but honestly, most people won't even make it this far in the video. They'll get distracted by their phone, or they'll decide this is too good to be true, or they'll go back to stalking their person's Instagram stories. But if you're still here, if you're ready to actually change your life instead of just hoping it changes, then do me a favor. Hit that like button. Not because I need the validation, but because it tells the universe you're serious about this transformation. And if you're really ready to go deeper, if you want to learn the exact techniques that made my specific person come back begging for another chance, then subscribe to this channel. But here's the thing, don't just subscribe and forget about it. Actually watch the videos. Actually do the work. I'm also opening up a few spots in my Inner Circle membership, but honestly, don't join unless you're ready to stop playing small. Don't join unless you're ready to become the person who attracts love naturally. Because once you step into that energy, there's no going back to being desperate or needy ever again. The link's in the description, but seriously, only click it if you're done with the old version of yourself. Your specific person is coming, but they're coming for the new you. The question is, are you ready to meet them? Oh, and remember that question I asked you at the beginning, about what your specific person used to do that made you feel alive? The reason I wanted you to write that down is because that feeling, that's what you need to create for yourself first. But I'll explain exactly how to do that in my next video. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because what I'm going to share next is going to completely change how you think about attraction. Trust me on this one.